to the front.
Big E is definitely in the building.
What up, y'all?
My man Tay is definitely in the building.
Yo.
Big H is definitely in the building.
Yo.
We got my man Rock Steezy in the building. He getting tightened up when he get out of here. We got Dre in the building. And welcome to Superstars of Sports, y'all.
You.
Let's get right to it. Tell them what we need.
Before we get to it, you know what we need? We need to like and comment and share, and we have a big announcement. Already in our third week, only our fourth podcast, we have already joined forces with my folks over at War Room Sports. So please, if you're looking for the audio, if you're looking for the video, not only do we have it up on our YouTube page, but also now we are connecting with War Room Sports. Go on warroomsports.com. All of our links and content is there. On your Apple Podcast, on your Spotify network, Google Play, you can find us underneath the War Room Sports. Big shout out to my man Dev. Big shout out to my man Jimmy. Thanks for making us this collaboration work.
Big shout out, y'all. 253, baby.
We are now your Superstars of Sports podcast coming at you. We're going to pass it over to Tay with the picks of the week. Take it away, Tay.
All right. So here's our picks of the weeks for Saturday and Sunday. Starting off with NBA. I love the Sixers versus the Pacers. Now, we are going through a slump right now of COVID. And the Pacers do give us a hard push. It is away. But I just love the money line. I think we pull out. My next one, I like the Grizzlies spread versus the Pelicans. They are away. John Morant is on fire right now. He's their leading pack. But what's his name? Jared Jackson Jr.
Yeah.
Them two has a good combo. I love the spread. My next one, I like the Raptors home against the Pistons. Siakam is supposed to be back. That's a big move for them. So I love the spread there. And then I love the Warriors over against the Hornets. Shootout, none but threes. Warriors the hottest offense right now. The Hornets, they just score. They don't play defense. So I love the over. And then my last one, I like the Nets spread versus Thunder. They are away, but it's KD coming back to OKC. So you might drop 40, 35-ish. I think they cover easily. Moving on to college. I love
college football.
College football, yeah.
And
basketball will be maybe next week. I gotta get into that a little bit more.
Okay.
I love Oklahoma away versus Baylor, 5.5 touchdown. They got that quarterback that took over Rattler. That's on fire. That's probably going up for Heisman. Hot offense right now. I think 5.5. That's easy, light work. My next one, I love Georgia -20 versus Tennessee. Away, again, their defense. Their offense is crazy. I love that. I like Notre Dame 5.5 or money line versus Virginia. It is away. Virginia brings a good fight. They do. They don't. They score, and their defense is a little. But all their games that they lost have been close games.
For those that like the draft, keep an eye on Virginia's quarterback. He's moving up draft charts. Started the season, maybe 6th-round pick. They're talking maybe a 3rd-round pick, and if he continues to perform well against good teams, he'll be shooting up the draft charts. But we'll talk about that as we get closer to the draft.
So I like Notre Dame 5.5. This one is a little stretch. But Purdue just came off a great win against Michigan State, right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I warned y'all about that. I warned y'all about that big win the week before against Michigan for the letdown for it to be a track game.
I'm hurt. Continue.
I like them plus 20.5 versus Ohio State. It is away, so they're going to their house, but
plus 20. I thought
I
heard that wrong. I was gonna say, what?
You know what I'm saying? As long as they don't, if they lose, as long as they don't get beat by 21.
Yeah.
They play, for some reason, they play great against teams that are ranked.
Yeah.
So, I'm sticking with it.
It's a good coach over there, too.
Right. My next one, home, Virginia Tech, just a money line against Duke. Now, Duke is pretty bad, but Virginia Tech, they also bring a close fight.
I thought you said Duke cover last week.
No.
No.
Pitt
We had North
covered.
Carolina in the over covering the money line.
No, that was Pitt.
Pitt, yeah.
They played Pitt.
How did you forget that?
They covered that.
How did you forget that?
That was easy. It was like 52-30, I think.
Yeah.
They covered.
Yeah, they covered.
Well, they covered easy. But that quarterback threw for 500.
So I just like the money line. And then I like Oklahoma State money line versus TCU at home. Nice little safe plays, keep it safe. TCU came off beating Baylor. They were a ranked team. They only beat them by 2 though. But Oklahoma State has been moving, has been playing very great. So I like just the money line, just keep it safe. Moving on to NFL. I like the Colts 10.5 versus the Jaguars. Now I know y'all saying, well, the Jags just beat the Bills. Keep it safe. Go 9.5. Touchdown or field goal. I think the Jaguars was a fluke. Carson Wentz has been playing very great the last 3 weeks.
Against who?
Against the Jaguars.
Colts and Jaguars.
I'll take it in
coming off a big win.
9.5.
I think the Jaguars finally figured it out.
I think there was a little fluke over there. They are home, Indianapolis. I love 9.5. Pittman and Wentz. That's his boy right there. I think T.Y. Hilton is coming back.
Yeah.
Moving on, I like the Bills versus Jets. That's a get back game for them. It is -12. Yeah, they can do it. I know they can do it. They can easily beat them by 20. But for safety reasons, I'll also take them at 9.5. Just in case, their offense starting off slow. But I think it's a get back game for them. I love Tampa Bay versus Washington, 9.5. Easy. Coming off a bye week.
Don't let your co-host sway you.
Coming off the bye week, there's no Antonio Brown again, supposedly. Gronk is questionable.
Don't need him yet.
But
You're making all the reason for us not to bet Tampa Bay. Naming all the people out.
you got Tom Brady back there. It's a different story.
Chris
Fournette and Godwin and Mike Evans has been on fire.
Most underrated receiver in the league.
I like the 9.5. I love 9.5 with the Cardinals versus the Panthers. They are at home. They play way better at home. Kyle Murray is questionable, but even with Colt McCoy in there, I still think they pull off the 9.5 easily. PJ Walker is going to be starting this week. No Cam.
Okay.
So
We'll get into that in
I
a
think
minute.
that's a little easy.
Cardinals 9.5, you said?
Yeah, 9.5.
Got that.
I have the Steelers -9, but I don't like the -9. They get backdoor a lot. I mean, you see they almost got backdoored by Chicago. I just like the money line versus the Lions. Now I know it's the Lions, but
Shout
for
out.
some reason
Shout
the
out.
Lions, I know they're coming off a bye too.
Yeah.
But when they're getting beat, they bring a push, a fight to the end. So I just want to be safe and just take the money line for the Steelers, and then I like money line for the Cowboys versus the Falcons. That's also a get back game for them. They're home. Just to keep it safe, I just take the win. I want to go for the spread.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's it for the picks.
All right.
I think everybody lost money last week.
Yeah.
I mean, there were so many upsets that you just couldn't predict.
That
We're not
Bills,
perfect.
yeah, that Bills
We're not
was-
perfect. But hey, guys, man, if you're listening to the picks, if you're wagering any money and you do good, we don't want to cut, but we want to know that we're helping you out. So please, when you're watching the YouTube video, leave your comments, leave your likes, let us know how we doing on these picks. Let us know if we're helping you out some. Again, all the type of interaction, we will answer back. We talk back to all of our listeners. So we appreciate it. Again, leave a comment if you're hitting up on these picks.
We had a lot of big things going on this week in the NFL. You can tackle that.
Oh.
Now, y'all want to talk about Cam Newton first, or y'all want to
We
talk
can
about
talk about
Beckham
Cam.
first? Y'all want to talk about
We
first?
talk about Cam. He's in your division, right? Mr.
Yeah,
Mr. Buccaneer?
Not
Hey,
concerned.
worried?
How you feeling about him, Mitch?
I'm not concerned at all about Cam. I tend to think that Cam might be past his prime a little bit. There's a reason why that same coach let him go. I don't know what his plan or his thought process was, but he ended up getting him back now. So that was weird. But I'm not concerned at all. I like that Cam got a job.
Yeah.
I hope he wasn't being semi-blackballed until he got vaccinated, since the doors opened back up for him. If that's the case, it is what it is. But I'm not threatened by them, and I still think Carolina got a lot more problems to worry about right now. So,
He might have, the coach might realize his error in his ways.
I mean, they had a good season last year with Teddy Bridgewater.
Like when your old girlfriend called you.
I as well as that Cam is in the league. I don't think there's 36 quarterbacks better than him out there.
No.
Right? But Cam is way past his prime. Cam is not a starter. Cam should have been somebody's backup. Carolina's bringing him in to help try to save the season. I get it. My thing is, I watched PJ Walker at Temple with Matt Rule, who's their coach now. Right, watch PJ Walker in the XFL. It's like, yes, it's not the NFL, right? But he still performed at a high level. I think he was either won the MVP of that league or was in the final 3 of that league, right? Came in, he played good against the Lions last year in his only start. They won the game 20-0. He only had 1 TD and had 2 interceptions, but he threw for 258, right? They have better weapons this year. I think you give PJ Walker a shot. I think Cam is past his prime. Cam, to me, has never been a good quarterback. Never. Even when he won the MVP, he was on a great team. He has great attributes. Again, his strength has never been his passing. Now that he's older and can't take the hits and the runs anymore, it's almost like Iverson when he lost the speed, right? He started getting hurt. He didn't really have the game no more. Should have been coming off the bench. He wants to be a starter. Then they got him out of the league. Same thing with Cam. Cam is not a starting quarterback in this league anymore.
I don't want to drag on to this because we both agree that it's good that he's back in the league.
Absolutely.
You don't believe the fact that he had never developed into a passing quarterback wasn't because he wasn't coached right? Similar to Mike.
I mean, yeah, that could have been, that definitely could lead into it, but they're not going to coach him now.
No.
Right? You're not going to coach him. He is who he is, right?
Yeah.
They won because they used to have 2,000-yard rushers every year, right? Jonathan Stewart and D'Angelo Williams, right? Greg Olsen, who can catch a lot of bad passes. They had a speed guy in Steve Smith, and then when they lost Steve Smith, they just brought Ted Ginn in. Yeah. But they were always led by that defense. They had 2 Hall of Fame linebackers, crazy defense, run the ball, right? Yeah. And then he was just bigger than any other person playing on defense, so he can run through him. Once his body started breaking down, and that shoulder injury that he got the first time he was with Carolina, any type of accuracy he had, any type of ability to read defenses went out the window. It's a nice story. I'm glad he's back in the league. I've lived in Charlotte for 8 years. I know there's a lot of people down there happy about it. So if you're a fan of the organization, it's a good look. I don't think he's changing around the fortunes of the franchise.
I think they go to playoffs, man.
You think they go to playoffs? Yeah. That's not saying a lot. That's not saying a lot because you get 7 teams in the NFL now.
That's your house on that.
Oh,
might be homeless.
Is that going to be on hot takes? That's going to be hot takes.
He might be homeless.
That's going to make our hot takes later on in the season.
If the playoffs started right now, Atlanta Falcons are in.
Yeah.
That's my point.
But that's
right.
Gracias.
Yeah. Do you think they're going to make it because of PJ Walker, or do you think they're going to make it because eventually Cam's going to take over and lead them there?
I think Cam's going to take over next week. I think Cam's going to take over.
Okay. And that's not.
We'll revisit this next week.
Yeah,
absolutely.
We have to.
Absolutely. Moving on, Odell Beckham. How y'all feel about that?
I mean, got to get the chips, right? It was almost a contradictory move to me, but I don't blame him, right? He's ring chasing. He want to be out there in LA. He's an LA guy.
See, I think it's the city that attracted him.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I think so also.
He's an LA guy.
He's a New Orleans kid, but
I'm saying, his persona.
Everybody's an LA guy.
Yeah,
I'm an LA guy.
His persona is an LA guy, right? He's from Louisiana.
He's an LA guy.
You know what I'm saying? They got Justin Jefferson wearing the free Odell. He was in the LSU locker room when they won the national championship. Of course, he's Louisiana born and bred, but he's an LA guy. Yeah. Right? So the spotlight out there, and they're going to win, right?
Yeah.
But see, it was contradictory because he said when he was released that I wanted, he was going for it because his dad was posting videos of him being open and not getting a route. They just let Deshaun Jackson go because they didn't have enough balls to go around, right? Because they like we talked about it, they like Van Jefferson, they got Cooper Kupp, they got Robert Woods, they got Darrell Henderson running the ball. But, he had a chance to get a ring, and we all know, once you get the ring, the endorsements come, the popularity rises. If he can ball out in that offense with Sean McVay, which I don't think he shouldn't, I still think he's very talented. My thing is, to me, it seemed like Odell has always been talented as a volume receiver. How's he going to fit in not being the guy, right? That's what you got to wonder. Are they having a great team? For sure. Are they the favorites to win the championship now against Odell? I personally don't think so. I still think the Buccaneers and the Packers are above them, but this can't hurt. This definitely can't help. It just is he willing enough to put his ego aside to know that he doesn't have to be the volume receiver to be a good receiver on a very good team as long as they're winning. We all know winning cures all ills, and you know, so it'll be left to said. But it's interesting. It's very interesting. They're building you know, Monstars over there with Von Miller and Aaron Donald and Jalen Ramsey, and now they bring Beckham over there with the guy who probably was the offensive MVP in Cooper Kupp.
I don't think that he's going to be wide open in LA and not get the ball. And I think that's the main problem.
No, he'll be wide. No, the problem is
you
everyone.
said volume.
Right.
You said volume, but if I'm sitting here like this wide open, and I'm not.
But that's not how McVay coaches. McVay. So yes, he's going to be open. Again, I'm not saying he's eroded of any skills. What I'm saying is Cooper Kupp is just as good.
No,
Cooper
I
Kupp is the first
heard you
receiver.
say while you were saying that the volume, and I'm like, that wasn't even the problem where he just left. It was the fact that you're wide open and not getting no
Baker wasn't getting him the ball.
Like,
That's
right.
Yeah.
Just
But other people
wide open.
Other people,
yeah, I was just wide open.
That's why
He was
Dad
not throwing
pointed
the
it
ball.
out.
I think
Right.
that's a different.
But
that's a different
what are you
problem.
going to do in LA if you're wide open? But so is Cooper Kupp and so is Robert Woods. Who's getting the route? Right? He has to do what Antonio Brown did in Houston. Prime example. Already had two good receivers there. Antonio Brown came in, played his part. Brady's this guy. You know, he stayed quiet. He was a team guy. He got the ball, made big plays in the playoffs when it mattered, because that's what Antonio Brown never did with the Steelers. And now everyone respects him again. That's all I'm saying. Now, I'm not saying it's not going to work. I'm just saying I want to see how it works.
I'm not saying it's not going to work either. I'm just saying I just think that it was a different problem there.
Okay.
That we might see in LA.
Correct.
Now,
That's what I think.
I think
Especially if you're winning, right? You don't mind not getting the ball if you're winning.
But I think he's going to get his touches too.
He'll get enough. He'll get enough.
He might get 5, but he gotta make it happen. So it's not, all that getting 8 and 12 targets is not gonna happen.
But I don't think that's necessary though.
No, it's not
Yeah,
necessary. He gotta again. They copying the Bucks blueprint to a certain degree.
They are.
They loading up offensively and defensively. So I ain't mad at it. It might not work or it could work. It depends on how fast Odell adapts. What he can do over there.
Right. He better block. He better block because
The thing too is he's in LA.
Yeah, well,
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
but can not all players can handle that?
I think he can handle. He was in New York.
Correct.
He can handle it.
But just being
he
in
forced his
LA
way out of there though too.
But the whole point is that they want to win a Super Bowl. So him just being in LA and liking the environment don't mean they're going to win. So he got to go out there and do what he can do.
Have you ever been to LA?
No, I get that, but that's not going to get you a ring. That's not going to get you a ring.
Definitely not.
Hold on, show your face on camera. Have you ever been to LA? Show your face on. Yo, listen. I'm telling you, when you're happy with your city, it kind of certain things that's not working out. It kind of sways you, bro.
Yeah, but that's not going to win him a Super Bowl. I mean, I understand he could be happy about LA and everything, but that's not going to win him a Super Bowl this year.
I'm talking strictly on how's it going to work on the football
I don't
field.
even think he's chasing rings, yo. I think
he's not
chasing
chasing
LA. I think he's chasing LA.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, there's been a strong rumor that he got a lot of things business-wise he want to do. So obviously going to LA is going to be a good thing for
LA is a
him.
good move, bro.
But I'm talking about the football team. Just because he comes there and he loves LA doesn't mean they're going to win on the field.
And I said at the same, I'm not even talking about wins and losses. I'm talking about even if you're getting a few less passes, I'm in LA.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Versus I'm not getting targeted over here
in Cleveland.
You know what I'm saying?
It's cold here.
Yeah, you understand what I'm saying? It's just a different movie.
LeBron left twice. I need to get up out there.
It's a different movie. That's what I'm saying. That's my thing.
All the players say it's boring when they go there for a game.
How about that? The same in the NFL. How y'all feel about the Dalvin Cook situation? Have y'all been hearing up on the Dalvin Cook situation?
I'm gonna tell you, I read up on the Dalvin Cook situation. And I'm gonna give y'all a little story real quick about when I was a kid.
Okay.
I was coming home from the store. This girl walked up to me, yeah, what you say to my sister? And she hawk spit in my face.
Okay.
I went home, told my pop, yeah, you girl just hawk spit in my face. My pop said, what you do? I said, nothing. He said, you never hit a chick, but you can hit a chick back.
Okay.
And I say that to say the Dalvin Cook situation, I'm tired of women coming into males' homes acting aggressive, putting your hands on them, and then when they return the favor, they quote unquote the bad guy.
Right.
Now I just feel like with this right here, you could have called the police and went in there and got your belongings.
Right.
Because if that was vice versa and he was a man going into her house, you already know how this would have went.
Yeah.
That's the thing. That's the thing.
That's my problem with
this,
the whole situation.
This is the difference about this instance because Dalvin was the first one to come to the media with the story. Right. Usually it's the men reacting to a charge that was brought on them. He came out first and said, "Hey, look, this military woman, Happy Veterans Day, don't everybody, so we're not disrespecting the military, right? This woman came into his house, yoked me up while I had company, and is threatening to sue me. Yeah, I mean, sending it through me, threatening to sue me if I don't break bread.
Yeah.
So he put his macho-ness as a football player to the side. And was like, I'm going to meet you with the story first before she can come out with anything. And then, 2 days later, she's online with the bloody photos. So it's kind of hard to get a grasp on who was what, because you don't really hear a man report first that I'm the one getting beat up, right? I'm the victim of the mess. And it goes on a lot more than what we want to give it credit for, right? Because some of us men are raised to never put your hands on a woman no matter how bad it gets. Right, and where we at? We at the barbershop. You ain't gonna let no man gonna come in like, yeah, my chick be beating on me, and everything gonna be cool. But it's 2021 now. Maybe it's acceptable now. Maybe you can talk about.
I'm not going for that.
You can go see Ben Simmons' therapist.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? To help you get through some things.
Y'all want equal rights? You want equal rights? I'm not going for that.
See, I think it's
I'm not going for that.
I think it's
Yeah.
It's very boxing.
Yeah, I'm not with it.
Yeah,
I don't touch you, you don't touch me. That's really that simple.
I think it's a bad culture going around with women that they could feel like they could be aggressive with men. I mean, don't get me wrong. Women should feel like she could say what she wanted to say and
Correct.
and do certain things to a certain degree. But when you start putting your hands on a man, at the end of the day, you got to remember it's a man. You know what I mean? Now,
And every person should be able to protect themselves as well. So,
yeah.
I think this story is far away from being over. There's a million different angles.
I'm sorry. I support domestic violence, whatever is wrong.
Yeah.
You coming in there and you iking somebody, you're wrong. But
that's a different scenario.
yeah, I had to laugh when you said she come in there and yoke him up because she's 165 pounds soaking wet. This bull's an athlete.
I was saying
She's in the military though. She's in the military.
No, I'm just trying to picture. I don't care if she's no Taekwondo. I'm still trying to picture her yoking up this bull.
No, but
I'm just like, man,
breaking tackles.
I hope it ain't happening like that.
He
But
breaking tackles the 300-pound lineman,
Right.
but you gonna let this chick come in
What you
your
gotta
crib.
consider is the smallest woman hit the biggest man because they don't expect to get hit back.
oh no, I get
So
that.
that's really what it's about.
No, I'm just laughing at
Yeah,
I'm
but
laughing at the picture in my head.
Yeah, but I can see it because
it's funny.
I've been almost joked about our weaker vessel until they find out they're the weaker vessel.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
That's how I feel about it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You can't beat me. Like, I'm a man.
Yeah.
You can't beat me.
Right.
And I feel like some people need that reinforcement in their mind. Like,
Yeah.
keep your hands to yourself.
Yeah,
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Keep your hands to
Everyone should
yourself.
keep their hands to
Everybody.
themselves.
A rag doll, a choke slamming like that. So that rearranges people's thinking sometimes.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
But
And not
the
to
whole
say I'm
box is saying
condoning it,
everyone
but-
has a plan until you get punched in the
Yeah,
face, right?
you know what I'm saying?
That's what that's what they told Mike Tyson. That's what Mike Tyson said, that everyone has a plan how to beat me until they get punched in the face. Then that plan go out the window.
I just think that women gotta walk. Everybody, like you said, everybody gotta walk a line. Women gotta really be cautious because you see it. I see it a lot with young girls. I'm watching these YouTube videos. They talking to grown men. We on YouTube. I guess I could say, but I ain't gonna say. They say SMD a lot. These women, it's SMD.
Yeah.
If when a man invite me to his genitals, we got a problem.
There's no more talk.
We got a problem.
If a man tells me to
So when a woman is inviting me to
do
do something like that, it's like, yo.
So you're talking to
But
that
see,
man.
but that's verbal though. That's
Yeah,
a
but
different
it's-
thing to me. That's verbal.
No, I get that,
You know
but
what I'm saying?
the point I'm trying to make is I think it's a problem with these women now. They're so aggressive. They're saying things like that, so now they feel like I can go put my hands on you.
Yeah.
They telling you the SMD. So then it's like, oh, I'm gonna go slap this nigga anyway. He getting out of pocket. Like, no. You gotta watch what you say and watch what you do because I understand that the verbal you shouldn't jump off that, but certain things might make it. You can't say certain things and do certain things to certain people.
This is what I want to say about the verbal aspect of it. You go walk away from verbal.
Right.
Sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will not. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm a firm believer in that. But violence begats violence with me. You put your hands on me, that's a different
Once you
thing.
cross that line.
That's a different thing. You can
Right.
say whatever you want because I can really leave at that point.
Yeah, you
but
can.
once you, like you say, trying to yoke me up and scratch me up and all that, we crossing a different line now. You know what I'm saying? And I love my wife to death, but you're not gonna be here beating on me. We're not doing that.
We're not gonna do that.
Right.
We're not doing that.
Keep your hands to yourself. We're not gonna. We're not.
Yeah, we're not doing that.
We're not doing that. Let me make sure this joint. All right. Good. Hold up. Make sure this butt had it.
Oh, that's what we're doing? Oh, you feel confident in your team now, huh? You feel confident in your team now?
Oh.
Yeah, man.
That's how we're doing that?
Yeah.
Oh, that's the thing.
No,
you're
because
saying now?
people all hype about the Rams. Just want to remind everybody,
Okay.
But back to Dalvin Cook. Yeah, man. That's a crazy situation that he's in, and I hope everything works out for him.
I think it's going to work out for him. And I'm going back slide over what you said. The fact that he came forward first makes him look more like the victim.
Yeah,
you know
yeah,
what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Than the, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Than the aggressor. So I will say that I'm kind of happy. Whoever, if he thought of his own or his press people or whoever told him to come forward, it was smart.
And not to make light of the situation, but can you imagine what the trash talk is going to be like on the field this Sunday?
Yes. Yes.
That's going to be wild.
But you know what?
I wish they'd be mic'd up, yo. I wish they'd be
Well, you
mic'd
better
up.
not mic up this week because you're going to hear everything. That NFL film is going to catch some stuff this week if they mic up Dalvin Cook. Because I know that trash talk is going to be absolutely hilarious.
Yeah, I think moving forward, I also want to get into the NBA. There's a lot going on, bro. Golden State looking good.
Golden State looking real good, and that's without Clay.
Yeah, like they looking like I'm scared to see how they look when Clay
The
comes back.
crazy thing is they're number one in defense right now.
Bro.
Number one in defense, fifth in rebound.
Bro, did you see him last night?
I did see him last night. I see a lot. I have the league pass.
But the rumor is that they haven't been playing nobody. So I get that they're 6-1 or 7-1.
No, they're 9-1.
Okay, 9-1. But they haven't really played nobody from my understanding. I just, I haven't seen nobody. I haven't seen them beat the Nets or.
I mean,
but see, this is my attitude when people say that. Now they lose to one of these teams,
right?
Then y'all look bad when y'all beat them. It's like you don't get the props you deserve.
You know in the NBA, everyone has the same 81 game schedule.
Thank you guys.
You know what I'm saying? Like everyone has the same that schedule. So just like they're beating Oklahoma City, everybody else is playing Oklahoma City as well. You know what I'm saying? It's not the NFL where we had to play the AFC West while you guys got to play the AFC North or something like that. In the NBA, everybody plays everybody. They got the same 81 schedule. They play cross conference twice. They play their own division a couple times. So you gotta play within the schedule, right? You gotta play within the schedule. They out there, they dunking on folks. Steph dropped 50 last night or the night before. They're doing their thing. They still don't have James Wiseman. They still don't have Klay Thompson, which means they're going to get more dynamic on offense as well as defense because Wiseman is an athletic big that's young and can jump. They got Gary Payton Jr. out there with a poster every single night. Steph doing his thing. Jordan Poole is a legitimate scorer right now.
You think Klay gonna come back and be the same old Klay?
Hell yeah.
Maybe. I don't think he's going to be the same defensively because some of the lateral movement might be a little slower.
That's what I think he's going to
But that jump shot is never leaving, right? So if they have some of these younger guys that they're developing, the Jordan Poole, the Gary Paytons, Kuminga that they drafted, that maybe can take the load off defensively. Wiggins is still a very good wing defender, right? You only need him to come in and what's his thing? He dropped 30 with 4 dribbles. You know what I'm saying? Like you just fire him up.
I'm scared.
And then just the team ball that they play out there is frustrating.
You see all the oops, yo?
See what?
Did you see all the oops?
Okay, correct.
I'm scared of them.
I don't understand why more basketball teams don't play like them. Now I get it; they don't have the talent. But just the scheme.
How about that?
I'm saying, but just the scheme, the motion offense. They don't run a lot of ISO. It's not Steph just staying at the top of the key trying to break his one man down, and everyone else just standing at the 3-point line. No, Draymond's initiating the offense from the top of the key. Bajenka is initiating the offense from the wing. Same thing with Wiggins, and everyone is constantly moving. It just looks for a better brand of basketball where everyone has the ball in their hand, everyone's having fun, and then it makes you buy in on the defensive end.
I'm scared of them, man.
It's crazy to think.
So we can all say, they're the hottest team in the league. How y'all feel about what's going on with the Lakers right now?
Oh, I hate the Lakers, so you're never going to get a true judgment.
I mean, well, how do you feel about
I've never been a Westbrook fan. I've never been a Westbrook fan. Right? Never been. I think
it's a bad move for them?
He is the best, worst player the NBA has ever seen. He's not efficient. He doesn't. I know he might have the dog in him. He might have the killer attitude that Iverson had, but he's not a winner like Iverson is. I know he has the MVP. I know the triple doubles. They were empty stats to me. There were a lot of empty stats where he was the only guy on the team. It's almost like back in the day when Elgin Baylor and all them were on bad teams and getting those stats. You're like, well, how do they do it? Well, if you're the only guy on the team, you're going to get the stats. Steven Adams doesn't care about grabbing rebounds. He's going to let Russell Westbrook grab the rebounds at Oklahoma City. There's nobody else there. I thought Westbrook was a bad fit. I don't think they fit well when they're all playing together. Hence why, not saying they're better without LeBron, but they look better as the basketball team because there's more space on the floor. But when LeBron comes back, he's the second greatest player to ever play. He's going to have the ball in his hand. If Russell Westbrook does not have the ball in his hand, he's an ineffective basketball player. He damn sure don't play defense. He's not setting those screens for you. He's not cutting through the lane to take a defender away. He's standing at the top waiting for the ball to come back to him.
So, let me ask you this, because I've been thinking about this and I was talking to my son about this, and I'm starting to think, you think we've seen the last days of LeBron? He hasn't been able to stay healthy the last couple of years like he used to be.
It's an issue. It's an issue the biggest benefit of signing Russell Westbrook is that LeBron can take these mini breaks during the regular season, right?
Not if Russell gonna keep letting them lose the damn game.
Well, that was losing with LeBron too, but LeBron only can't. LeBron
He makes it worse.
He doesn't
Listen,
make the playoffs though.
LeBron just says, "Give me the April.
Yeah,
you give me the
it's a
April.
wrap.
If I'm healthy in April, I got it from here, and there's no way that you could doubt that." So signing Westbrook, a player like that does his biggest attribute is giving you 110% every time he's on the floor. He's playing hard. Might not play smart, might not play the best, but he's going to play hard. Makes it easier for LeBron to take this time out during the season of the long stretch because he does so many things in the all season that when it comes time for the season, his quote unquote load management, his admin issue might have cost somebody else a week and a half. He'll take 3 weeks, right? He'll take a little bit longer because he knows he still has Anthony Davis. Then we have Russell Westbrook. And the NBA season really doesn't start till after Christmas anyway.
I don't know, man, Anthony Davis getting hurt too much too. So it's like
That is correct.
that team looked like, I don't
That
know,
is
man.
correct.
It's starting to look like,
Like old man.
yeah.
That is correct.
I mean, I hate to say it, you make a lot of sense. It might be like the last
Days. I remember. I mean, we old enough to all remember watching Jordan these last couple of years.
Well,
I'm
this is
not-
Mike.
Yeah.
What is it? Not the last couple of days in Chicago, Mike, because he walked out on top.
Yeah, he walked out on top. But I'm I'm talking about the last couple of years of Mike as a basketball player when we saw he was still effective, but he wasn't jumping the same. The guys wasn't falling for that fadeaway no more like they used to. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I looked at Bron, he got a fast break the last game he played, he went up for a dunk. It looked like he ain't got the elevation no more. It ain't the same.
Right. I mean,
the same
you're right. I mean, instead of being the best player in the league, maybe he's the third best player in the league. You know what I'm saying? But again, I'm never as much as I hate quote unquote hate on LeBron's, and with probably more his fans than him as a player. I still say he's the second best player of all time. But Father Time is undefeated.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? So all these years of going to the finals. So he's in the league, 17 years? I think he played as many games as almost if he was in the league 21 years, with all the playoff games that he's been to. So of course it's gonna take his toll, and of course he's not gonna have the lift, maybe not have the jumper, but he's gonna affect the game in other ways. He's gonna stay healthy come the turn of the calendar, and then we'll judge LeBron on that. I'm not gonna judge LeBron in November and December. I'm gonna judge LeBron in April and May because that's the type of player he is.
I just kind of think about one thing like a little bit, like you kind of got to get off to the races with the way, like you said, the way Golden State balling off, these teams, they get off to the races early for a reason, you know what I'm saying? You get that home field, and I just think
LeBron used to do it in Cleveland. There's a couple of years they went to the finals and won. A couple of years they went to the finals even when he was in Miami too. That they didn't worry about being the number one seed. Remember Derrick Rose? The Derrick Rose year they were the number one seed.
Coming out the East though.
You're right.
More Delhi in the West,
You're right, but there's also a little bit more parity now out west. The West is not as strong as it used to be. Remember, Brooklyn, Milwaukee, Miami in the East. You know what I'm saying? It's a little bit more balanced. There's still very good teams out west, but there's a lot of good quote unquote teams. But sometimes in basketball, talent trumps. Individual talent trumps what you're doing as a team. So he'll always be the best player on the floor. So as long as he's healthy come playoff time, doesn't matter if they're a 4 seed, doesn't matter if they're a 2 seed, doesn't matter if they're a 6 seed. LeBron being LeBron will carry that team to a victory until it's proven otherwise.
As long as you're not an 8 seed and you got to see and Golden State is the first seed.
Right.
That's the only thing I'm like,
early.
And if they are struggling to do that, LeBron, the GM, is not going to let the team stay. So they'll make moves at the trade deadline, right? They'll have a bunch of people when they get balled out from the bad teams that's going to want to come join the Lakers, hoping that they get a ring. So there'll be more players coming to the Lakers throughout the season.
Hey, let me ask you something. How you feel about that situation with Marquise Morris and the Joker?
Oh man, I mean, so shout out to South Philly, Morris twins of South Philly. Watched them play in high school. What can you say? The Morris twins have been beating people up in the league for damn near 10 years now. It was a cheap shot by Jokic.
What I'm gonna say is after a while, you gonna stop picking on me.
Right.
Man.
After a while,
This
you just
is
get
what it
tired.
is,
Sometimes you got to stand up to the bully. Right. Now, the off the field stuff. As much as I know, as tough as I know the Morris twins are, and they got the South Philly upbringing, and they had a rough life, so on and so forth, I still don't know if I'm bringing that type of smoke to the Jokic brothers who come from the Eastern Bloc. They're a little bit different over in Serbia with the way that they get down when it comes to beef. We got the video clips of them ready to jump on the court last year when someone was messing with Joker. So I'm just saying, keep it on the court. It was a dirty play, of course it was by Joker. It was a dirty play by the Morris twin before that. I think they both should have just been fined or both suspended. They should have got the same equal treatment. But it is what it is. It's basketball. It's early in the season. It gives us stuff to talk about.
But I feel like the Morris got to move how they move. Or you can't have no picks. Like, you gotta.
Yeah.
If this is the persona y'all giving off, that y'all South Philly tough boys, it don't matter where you from. You know what I'm saying?
These boys rode on their mom boyfriend.
That's what I'm saying.
You know,
So you gotta
allegedly.
Right.
Allegedly. You gotta be.
Right. I'm not
That's what I want
questioning.
to see.
I'm not.
I mean, I gotta see the smoke. Well, I'm like, you got picks. You can't have picks.
Yeah.
I mean, the other brother already said he can't wait for him to be on the schedule, so we'll see what's going on.
I want to see what's going to happen too.
Yeah.
I don't want anybody getting hurt though, but I want to see what's going to happen.
Yeah, right. That might be one of those Kyle Lowry, Ben Simmons meet me in the hallway in the back of the arena type of thing.
Every now and then I like to see some old school basketball. Just, a little Charles Barkley hit somebody, a little sucker punch. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Little Julius Erving choking Larry Bird. You know what I'm saying? Little Malice in the Palace.
But these dudes, they too cool with each other off the court. Like, I'm gonna meet you at the club. We gonna buy it. Right. Punch him in his mouth.
There's a bunch of Instagram friends and AAU partners. That's what it is.
Yeah, man.
That's what the league is right now. But it is what it is.
So let's go over to our favorite topic real quick. And let's touch on the Ben Simmons situation right now. Me and you, we always go back and forth about this and should he be traded and when should he be traded and for who he should be traded for.
Yep.
So we're gonna go with the latest rumor. The latest rumor right now is for Jalen Rose.
Jalen Brown.
Jalen Brown. I'm sorry. Wow.
Yeah.
Now I don't think
you're trying to get on first. You're trying to get us on ESPN already.
Yeah. How about that? I don't think it's a straight up trade.
The rumors are all over the place.
Right.
I don't care about Jalen Brown. I don't care who else is involved in it. If it's Jalen Brown, I'm driving Ben and whoever else is in the deal to Boston myself. That's what I feel about that.
Okay. Would you give up? One of the rumors I heard was Ben Simmons and Danny Green for Jalen Brown and somebody else. I'm sure you're gonna gladly.
What's the next topic? Because if you ever ask me, am I not willing to give up Danny Green?
Yeah, about Danny.
Danny Green is the only 3-point specialist I've ever seen in my life that can only shoot 3 points in one spot. Right? If he's standing on the corner, he's 80%. Anywhere else on the field, he's shooting like 10%. If you don't get out of here with his old ass hamstring and he looked like a grandpa running back
he was
down the
going to
court.
be here after last season.
He did. No one else was trying to give him no money.
What the hell is he doing here?
Yeah.
So what do he got going on with the Sixers now?
So do you not think that all right? So obviously, I think that you think Ben Simmons is a better player than Jalen Brown.
No.
All around.
No.
Okay.
No.
So you think if that trade was to happen that we got to steal?
Yes.
Hell yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
What do you feel about it?
Because now we can.
No, I just kind of think we should get something else too with that. I think that
Ben's body of work. One of the young guys like Pritchard or something like that.
I think Ben's resume. You take away with the obvious, but his resume, was it 3-time All-Pro, defense, all defense, whatever it is. Was it 3 times?
3-time All-Star, 2-time All-Defense, second in Defensive Player of the Year.
That compared to Jalen, I think we should just get something else added on with that Jalen. I think we need a little bit better.
But again, why is Boston going to solve our problem, right? Like they're doing us a favor by getting our problem out of here.
Yeah.
1 for 1, I'm fine. Shit, I'll even give him Isaiah Judd with him, or I'll give him, you know what I'm saying? I'll give him somebody else off the bench with him.
Because you know what's about to happen? He's going to play.
Jalen Brown's going to play?
He's going to play.
He's going to drop 30.
The day that he comes, he's going to play. He's going to shoot the ball.
That's right. And he plays wing defense.
Yeah,
I mean, I agree. I want the trade. I just feel like I should get a little bit more. But definitely,
you're selfish.
Yeah, I'm greedy.
But I'm never getting to the bottom of that.
Yeah, but Jalen Brown, please, like you said, in the New York Minute, man, we
want that.
Yeah, bye. So that's a rumor, but I think it's dying. I don't really think it's strong.
I think it's one of those rumors where people in Boston do check in. Right, you get the clickbait nowadays. Oh, they're checking in. Of course, it's the general manager's job to make a phone call. Hey, what you guys want for Ben? Oh, you want Jalen? All right, peace out. We out. And then the news click is Boston checking in on Ben Simmons. Jalen Brown's in the deal. Well, that's not really the case. They just called as the general manager. Brad Stevens as the general manager of Celtics is supposed to call any team that might have somebody up for trade. And then there you go. And then next week clickbait. Other topic though, came out yesterday. Woj dropped the bomb that John Wall might not play this year. How do you feel about that?
I'm going to let you keep going with that because I didn't hear why John Wall not playing.
So this is the part sometimes that frustrates me about athletes, right? Now I'll never in my lifetime can even come close to having the amount of money that they have, so I'm not trying to count their pockets or live their lifestyle. But John Wall's, the report was that there's a great chance that he might not play this year. Because 2 reasons. Number 1, they're not agreeing to a monetary value for a buyout for Houston. And teams that want to trade for John Wall he makes $42 million this year and $47 million next year. But next year is a player's option. Any team that has tried to trade for John Wall only wants to trade if John Wall will already declare that he will opt out and the team will not be on the hook for $47 million. John Wall saying that's not happening. I'm not opting out. I want my $47 million. Right? So they're not going to come to a buyout, which means he would get a big lump sum of his $80 million in a way that he can get a lump sum up front and Houston is off the record, and then he can go sign with any team he wants to, but he won't get his $87 million. You get your lump sum from the Rockets, and then you'll get whatever vet minimum deal from whatever team he gets the chance to choose from. Now, again, this is where I say I'm not counting his pockets, but a quick Google search told me that John Wall, in just NBA contract money, has already made upwards of $160 million in his lifetime. Is he broke? I don't know that man's pockets. I don't know his bottom line, but I'm pretty sure he was making $160 million. He's living okay. If you are a basketball player and that is your passion, why would you rather sit out and not play the sport of basketball that you love to play, that you actually work hard to stay in shape to play, just because you don't want to give up the $47 million? You get a lump sum this year, you go to a team, you prove how good you are, there's going to be plenty of people trying to offer you a big deal next year. Chris Paul just did it.
And in the words of the great Latrell Sprewell, back in the day when they gave him $50 million, he wanted to turn it down. He got kids to feed, man.
Okay, and I get that.
But
again, I get that. But at the same time, like, I get it. He's still sitting home collecting his paycheck. He's gonna get paid $40 million to sit home. So I'm not oblivious to that point. But I'm just talking from the sport aspect, right? Coming from a fan aspect that likes to watch John Wall, the athlete, play the sport.
This is a business, man.
You're correct.
You don't want to stop being fun?
So then why are you putting in all that work to come back to play if you're not going to play? If you want to be like that, sit home, do whatever you want to do with your kids, and not continue to put up videos of you working out in the gym, your leg looking good, your knee looking good.
Should he go out the Benway and start saying that he's a little depressed and got anxiety?
I mean,
because he's doing the same thing as Ben, except he's just being gangster about it and saying, listen, I ain't playing.
Right.
I ain't buying out.
Right.
Sign me or pay me. Either way, I'm going to get paid.
No, I don't think he needs to go to bed round because obviously at this point, no one's really caring or checking for John Wall.
That's
no one's checking for John Wall.
Yeah,
but me as a fan of the sport,
$47 million.
Yeah, I want my 47.
I do get that.
These owners are billionaires, guys.
You're right.
So,
but
the
point of view I'm saying is not from the point of view of you not getting your money. I'm just saying if I could play the sport, and this is just a fan's perspective, which is usually not the right one, but I want to play. Like, I want to play ball. I'm that good. I am blessed to be one of the greatest.
So then you John Wall, right?
Yeah.
You John Wall. I'll be real.
Yeah.
I'm your homie. I'm your homie. You John Wall. Listen, man. For real, you're going out hard. You ain't the same way that you used to be. You can't jump.
Right.
You know what I mean? Your game ain't the same. We can't put you on any team because you really don't gel. You're almost like a little baby Westbrook yourself.
Okay.
So just sit back and get this check, baby. Let's get this money, man.
I mean, there's no logical point of view to debate what you just said. I agree with it technically in the real world sense. I'm just coming from the fan's perspective that I want to, if I'm a basketball player and I'm working out 6 days a week, 7 days a week, long hours, and I'm rehabbing from these injuries, and people telling me I can't play no more, and I'm doing all this to prove to you that I can play, I want to go play. Give me a lump sum, right? Give me 25. Give me 30 mil of the 80 mil, and let me go earn more money when I play while I'm playing.
Give me the whole 47.
Okay, I get it.
So do you think part of the reason why he ain't taking a pay cut or buyout because a team like Brooklyn or LA or Miami ain't interested? Because I wonder if they would have been like, yo, man, we want you. He'd probably say, all right, man, give me 40 of that 80 or give me 50. Yeah. I'm gonna go down in Miami, sign for this little bet.
Well, I think the reason why is I'm coming to your side, so I'm not debating. I'm coming to your side. Right. He probably knows he ain't gonna make that 80 million ever again.
Right. No.
Right.
Yeah.
So he's never gonna make. I get the logical part. He's not gonna make that 80 million ever again.
But I think that.
But he's also not gonna play.
But
for 2 more years, and then you're not going to make no more at all anyway.
But
right?
I think that if the Nets or Miami, somebody that he thinks is a contender,
okay,
call him, that he would take a buyout.
What do you think about us? Do you think the Sixers are a contender?
I don't think we should call him.
No, they better not call him. But the question, because I'm going to go. The question is, do you think we're a contender?
No, listen.
Yeah, you think we're a contender? Because the word out there is that if he would buy out, the Sixers would be one of the teams that was interested in contacting him.
Oh, gosh.
Right? You get rid of Ben, you get Jaylen Brown, you bring in John Wall, and you know what I'm saying?
Give me Jaylen Brown.
But that's what I'm saying. So
I don't want John Wall at all.
I get that. I'm just saying. So you said that you think that maybe some of these better teams are not interested in him.
And that's why he won't take a pay cut.
Correct, and I'm telling you that the reports are, obviously I'm not in the front office, but the reports are that the Sixers are one of the teams that are interested in him once he buys himself out.
Yeah, but he don't think of him as a strong. He looking at like somebody like Brooklyn. They
but that was my question to you. That was my question to you. So it's like, what level of teams are you looking at?
Brooklyn,
top tier.
Level one.
At the time that the report came out, again, I'm not arguing. I'm not saying you're wrong. At the time that the report came out, we actually had the best record in the East.
Yeah, well, I think.
But we still don't. This is what I'm saying.
It was this year,
and if he knows Ben's on the way out,
we're not the best team in the East, though.
Correct.
Yeah. But with the Ben Simmons,
if I'm John Wall, once that team gets rid of Ben Simmons, all I had to do is beat out Tyrese Maxey for the starting point guard.
I hate to say it though, bro. Like I'm Philly boy. You know, obviously I'm by way of Tampa. By way of Tampa.
Right.
By way of Tampa, but yeah, I mean, listen, it's not Philly not a destination for guys. A lot of guys don't say, yo, I want to go to Philly.
You're right.
You know what I mean? Like, rumor was at one point we had a chance to get Brown before he went to LA.
No, well that
was a rumor. I don't know how true it is.
So no, that is a correct statement that you made. Except that Brown was never going to come here. No. Brown was just using the Sixers organization to
leverage.
As leverage to get the Lakers to give him the money he wants.
His son went to school with him. Went to a little private school.
Yeah, outside.
He was supposed to stay and hoop there.
Yeah.
So that's why.
That's where it all came from. But they were used as leverage. You know, we all know his movie studio was out there. He had bigger and better dreams. So he was going to LA regardless.
I just think Philly not a destination.
You are right. No, that is the problem. That is the problem in every single sport.
The athletes love Philly when they come up from here.
Correct.
But coming here, nobody's excited. Like, yo,
you said that in week 1. That was another way in getting good players, having a city that they want to play in. Who wants to come here? It's really that simple. You said it in week 1.
That is correct. But some of the stars are finally. What was good during that run when Ben and Joe was there was that the other sports teams were getting involved with each other, right? So now you have Bryce Harper, who's probably the top 5 names in baseball. Top 5 names, right? Top 5 names in the city. He's one of the finalists for MVP, so he's top 3 there, playing. So anyway, but he's the top 5 names. So he chose to come here, right? So now he's out there promoting our city to every single other athlete. So we just need those. But you're right. We are a tough city. There's a lot of no, you're right. I'm gonna prove your point because I agree with you. There's a lot of athletes that don't want to fight for the respect that a Philly crowd would give you. Which is why it's great for Iverson to always stick up for us, which is why it's great that Iverson would always be accepted in the city because he reps the city for us like he really is from here. Right? But if you have a destination, not too many people can handle the seriousness that we put on our sports teams.
Yeah, I want to win, so we need to break that a little bit. You know what I mean? Like, which is why if we go back to episode,
it's not New York, it's not Miami, it's not LA.
But if you go back to episode 1, if you go back to episode 1, that's why I said that the process was the best way to go.
They say it's the 6th biggest
market. It's a big market to us when we live here. I'm telling you, guys, like
media-wise.
When people looking at America, like it's not
like biggest market media. But the problem is we actually hold athletes accountable in this city because we know what we got to do to make our money to spend on that. Right? If you ain't gonna go out there, but that's why I like players like Jason Kelsey. That's why the Iversons, the ones that give their all, will forever be loved here. And Brian Dawkins will never have to buy anything in this city again because he gave his all every time he played. So, right, but when you're a high-priced athlete, a lot of times if we're going to give you $300 million and LA's going to give you $300 million and you're just going to be a quote-unquote another star out in LA where you can just live your life and blend in with the rest of the stars and they're not really going to care about your performance on the field, because if we give you $300 million, you better be Bryce Harper winning MVP every single year.
You can't go to the club noodles and all that.
Right.
Saying something
so we are a large media market. We are a large population market. But just like Boston and other teams, we hold our athletes accountable, and a lot of athletes don't want that responsibility because it's hard enough just being an athlete in that sport, let alone having to live your day to day where we breathe, eat, sleep the sports the way that we do.
So we basically, with all that being said, we agree it's just a hard. Athletes don't want to come in, man.
It's a hard sell.
It's a hard sell, which is why I felt the process was the right way to go. You draft the stars and then bring everybody else here.
I'm gonna tell you, this city haven't been right since Iverson left. If you ask me,
the basketball team.
I think everything, yo.
Well, the Philly won in 08.
It's just still it's not the same.
Yeah, we don't have a megastar.
Yeah, it's just
we had
not the same.
we had
one time we had AI McNabb running around here.
Oh, we had athletes. We had athletes.
Oh, yeah,
athletes that the world wanted to watch.
Yeah,
we had athletes that the world wanted to watch. We haven't had that megastar, and the biggest one that we have right now is Bryce Harper.
And not to take nothing away from Bryce Harper, but he's not Allen Iverson.
Well, it's the sport. The problem is we have the biggest athlete in the sport that's probably the least recognized in the city.
See, because I want to take time, like even like the Iverson wasn't just a player. He was a movement. He was a culture. He was a. Nobody's running around trying to look like Bryce Harper.
You know
what I'm saying?
You know who did have that for a quick second but ruined it? T.O.
Terrell Owens definitely
T.O.
had it.
T.O. had it.
T.O. had it. He definitely had it.
T.O. had that.
He definitely had it.
But it was too quick, too short.
He definitely had it. T.O. definitely had it.
McNabb had it, but he was corny.
Nah, I mean,
he was a cornball.
He was a cornball. He had the city. He was corny.
Did you want to be like McNabb?
No,
I want to be like T.O.
No, because he was corny though. That's what I'm saying.
I want to cut my facial hair off.
Yeah.
I guess
you want to do the push-up?
Chunky suit?
No, he was corny.
He was right.
You know what it is. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, he was corny.
No, nobody. He ain't deserve a nickname. I call him Donovan.
Right,
fine.
You know, you call him
Donnie. They call him Donnie Mack. Donnie Mack.
No, Donnie, no, never. And the crazy thing is, he's the best quarterback.
Greatest Eagles quarterback ever, Donnie Mack.
So we good? I think we touched on everything this week, man. I appreciate y'all for joining in again. We need you to like, comment, subscribe on YouTube, and please shout out again to War Room Sports. Go follow War Room Sports on Instagram, Twitter. If you want to listen to us and not just watch us, please go on your Apple Podcasts, your Google Play, Spotify, underneath the War Room Sports. All of our content will be there.
Costs nothing to show love.
If domestic violence is wrong, no matter who's the aggressor, the male or the female. That's a fact.
It is.